I'm Tom Gorman. I arrived in Hong Kong in 1974, joined AmCham in 1974. I am the chairman and editor-in-chief emeritus of Fortune China and CCI Asia Pacific. I was chairman of AmCham in 1995. I would say if two words come to mind, it was hot and slow. It was 5 years before the MTR opened, just 2 years after the Cross Harbor Tunnel opened. Rail transport consisted of the tram. There were no direct flights between Hong Kong and any mainland Chinese city, and that would be the case for quite a few years to come. There were no traffic jams. Queens Road Central, DeVoe Road Central, at the best of times, there were goods transports and lots of bicycle transports, not a lot of private cars. It was a much slower pace of life. Hong Kong was really isolated from China. China was isolated from the world and of course from Hong Kong. And so the trade with China was principally commodities based. It was China's exports for the most part, limited amount of imports. It was dominated by the trading hongs, the traditional trading hongs like Jardine, Jebsen, East Asiatic, mainly European. There was no role in China trade for the bankers, the accountants, or the lawyers. Foreign investment was taboo. Advertising was taboo in China. When I first mentioned my trip in 1975, didn't need a hotel wake-up call because the loudspeakers in the street outside the hotel, the Dongfang Bingguan, started at 6 a.m. in the morning denouncing American imperialists and their running dogs. It was a very different U.S.-China dynamic in the 70s until normalization. And then the change has just been phenomenal since that time. Prior to the big opening and reform announcement in 1979, there were subtle but important changes that were obvious when we would go up to the Canton Trade Fair. Things were, you could see a sense of experimentation and things going on. Guangdong has always been in the forefront of change in China. And so we were lucky because by 77, 78, really things did start opening up. China started to invite construction equipment companies, machine tool companies, industrial marketers to come in and talk about their wares, and China was beginning to buy more of that kind of product. So our business really took off, and we were just lucky that, the timing was right. And because of that, I kind of just thought, where else would I want to be? And you could see the beginning of this extraordinary transformation, not only of Hong Kong, but especially of China. So having a ringside seat and to some extent being a participant in that was just fascinating and rewarding. And really, from that point on, this seemed like the best place in the world to be, and I still feel that way, actually.